Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for stopping by the channel on this Monday for another That Good Sante cream cheese box rummage. Starting off the week right after skipping last week. We're getting back into the cheese box, and you may think to yourself that you see these all the time on the channel, but they're really just pickup videos. I mean, this is where I keep my incoming cards that are not graded until I have a chance to sort them and put them away into my collection. So these are just going to be some new pickups here. And we're going to start with an amazing soccer card. Check this out. Pele, who is no longer with us. This is probably my best Pele card. I don't have a vintage playing era Pele, which is something I'd like to remediate someday. But for now, I do have this Panini card. This was issued at the National, so it's fitting that I pull this just a week or two after the show here, a few years back. And it's got that amazing Panini etching. I mean, look at the jersey here, how it just lights up. The shorts, the socks. I mean, just an amazing card of a guy who's a top 5 soccer player in the history of the sport. I think in really anybody's opinion, certainly mine. Not a lot of chances to add modern shiny Pele cards to the collection. So I'm really glad I have this one. I don't typically go for these, show issued type cards. You can see this came out, if it focuses here, at the 2018 National from Panini. So I don't normally go for these, but the opportunity to get a Pele with Panini etching was just too good to pass up. And this is serial numbered out of 99 on the back. So amazing soccer card to get us started here. That's probably going to go into get the one-touch treatment, but it looks great in the light. Let's go to the right side of the box, and we have a hockey card next. I'm going to take some of the tape off this. This is a nice insert from Fleer. Back in the 90s, Fleer Ultra specifically is the Scoring Kings. Wayne Gretzky from 94-95 Ultra. You have that triple image. Some nice gold foil down here. I love that emblem. A really cool card. It's a little weird to see the Ultra logo in the middle of the card instead of one of the corners. But a great card. And I love the Scoring Kings just insert as an insert across the years. So happy to have that Gretzky. I showed a McDavid that I got recently, I think, out of this cheese box. So love the continuity there of that particular insert. Next up, this one is really cool. So if you were collecting in the early 90s, you'll probably recognize this card design, although it's obviously a newer card featuring Juan Soto. So this is the design, or one of the designs, from one of my favorite sets of my childhood, the 1992 Topps Kids baseball release. And I think it was 2019 that Topps did this, I want to say. This is one of their on-demand sets that they released. So you could order these online. I think there were 6 players on the checklist, all shown in the 1992 Topps Kids cartoon dugout motif. And so these are sneaky tough cards. Obviously, I didn't know I was going to pull this out of the cheese box, or I would have looked up like print count, but I believe less than 500 of these were made in the print run. So there's not a lot of these out there. It's a second year Soto. But for me, as much as I love Juan Soto, this is all about the throwback to that kids release. I just loved that set. Still do as an adult. I've done an entire video about the Topps Kids baseball release. Let me back the camera up a little bit here. In the early days of the channel, and so getting Juan Soto on that design is just too cool. I do have a few of the other players from that set. I'm not sure who the other big names are, but I'd love to complete that 6-card set at some point. And yeah, if you haven't checked out the 92 Topps Kids release, it's simply fantastic. Next up, I have a hockey card here. It's a buyback of a Pro Set 1990 hockey card featuring Peter Sidorkiewicz for my beloved Hartford Whalers. Favorite franchise of my youth. Look at this, brown pad era, brown leather pad era, wooden Louisville stick, got that green helmet that he was known for. Just an awesome card. These buybacks are numbered to 5. So I'm really happy to be one of the 5 owners of this Peter Sidorkiewicz. Not a household name at all. Definitely an obscure card that only a Whalers collector and lover would appreciate, most likely. But for me, that is right up my alley. I just love buybacks. And if you get me buyback and Hartford Whalers combined on the same card, I'm pretty much sold, especially at just a couple bucks, which is all that Sidorkiewicz set me back. Next up, we have a soccer card. I've talked about him recently, but how about this Kylian Mbappe? This is from the 2018 Panini Instant program for the World Cup. And so these were basically akin to Topps Now. So during the World Cup in 2018 and since, they did it again in last year's World Cup, they issue these. They're ordered online and they're printed to demand. So while they're not serial numbered, you do know exactly how many of each card were produced. In this case, 630. And this is a cool one because it pays tribute to Killian being basically the best young player in the tournament, I should say. So he was 19 years old when he won the World Cup with France. And, you know, I'm going to do a whole episode on this, so I'll try to keep it brief here coming up. But if you really think about what he did as a teenager and how big that tournament is, it's one of the craziest feats, athletic feats that I can think of during my time as a sports fan. So I'm really happy to have this card that commemorates one of 630 out there that commemorates him winning the Best Young Player Award at that 2018 World Cup. Those cards, they're not super valuable. They have some value, especially one or two of the early ones, but I think there's a lot of future potential with those instant cards, you know, as his career unfolds and he goes down inevitably as, you know, one of the best scorers in the history of the World Cup. I think those cards are going to be really, really nice to have. All right, sticking with the right section of the box, here's another of my favorite parallels, Upper Deck exclusives. Upper Deck is like the flagship set in hockey, just like Topps is in baseball. And they've done these exclusives parallels. You can see the rainbow exclusives foil here in the lower corner. They've done these going all the way back to the late 90s. Martin Brodeur, one of the best goalies in the history of hockey. Really happy to add him to my exclusives collection. This is a 2006-7 card, if I'm not mistaken. And as is always the case, these are serial numbered. And what's cool is this is the final copy off the print line here, copy 100 of 100 with this Marty Brodeur. In most people's estimation, a top 5 goaltender of all time, or certainly a top 10 goaltender of all time. So just really, really pleased with that one. As you know, after 15 or 20 years, those cards numbered to 100 just get really, really tough. Let's do another Com-C pickup here. You can tell by the backing, and check out this Star Wars card. Luke Skywalker. This is from the 2017 Top Star Wars High Tech release. And this is the Title Diffractor is the name of this parallel. So this is acetate, as all tech cards are. You have Luke in his TIE Fighter outfit here, which is really cool. And then that extra kind of shine and foil that you see on here is how you can determine that this is a Title Diffractor. They're also serial numbered. It's a little tough to make out, but in the upper right, behind my finger here, you can see this is copy 73 of 99. So how about a serial numbered Luke Skywalker, numbered under 100. As you can tell by the Brodeur that we saw a minute ago, I love my serial numbered cards, especially, you know, anything like 250 or less. So really pumped with that one. Probably the most random card that's going to come out of today's rummage, but can't go wrong with some Luke Skywalker. We'll put him up in the background there as well. And we're at the 8.5 minute mark. Let's do at least one more card here. Maybe more. We'll see what comes out. And yeah, we'll end on this one. This is a really nice card for my Xander Bogaerts collection, which is something that I've talked about throughout the season here, even though he's now with the Padres. Still enjoy collecting the man. And this is from the 2017 Topps Chrome release. This is the Orange Refractor. And obviously, you know, being a player collector of Bogaerts over the years, I did pick up a lot of different numbered Topps Chrome cards like this. But this is one of the lower numbered cards that I have in my Topps Chrome collection for Bogaerts, being numbered out of just 25, copy 14 of 25 here. So a lot of serial numbering in today's Cheese Box episode. It's kind of worked out that way by chance. I love, especially when it comes to modern, I love serial numbering as a way to introduce kind of some, even though it's manufactured, scarcity into my collecting. So really cool orange Bogaerts there. And with that, we're going to wrap it up and keep it under the 10-minute mark. Truly appreciate you stopping by. Have a bunch more content coming up throughout the week and this coming weekend. So I hope to see you back here on the channel soon. And in the meantime, enjoy the hobby and stay safe, everybody. See ya.